Hey guys, Jason here with the One Stop How To Guys, bringing you episode 4 of Advanced Drupal Development. Now, in this episode, we're going to do everything we talked about in the last episode. So by the time we're done, we're going to have a product on our site. We're going to be able to add that product to the cart, and we're going to be able to check that product out. Now, in order to do any of this, you need to head on over and download the Drupal Commerce module. Now, there's a couple of extra modules that you're going to need to grab in order for this to work. CTools, Views, and Entity API should all already be on the website because we're using them for other things. But just make sure that you have them, as well as the Rules module and the Address Field module. Now, these are just things that Drupal Commerce needs in order to work. And there's one other one that I'd like you to run out and grab, and that's Inline Entity Form. And this is just going to make the addition of products to a product display a lot easier, and it's going to speed things up. So, what we're going to be selling is this white t-shirt here and this black t-shirt here. Now, we're going to do this so that we can kind of see what it looks like when we add multiple products to the same product display and where we need to put those fields in order for things to work properly. Now, we need to turn this stuff on, so go ahead and go into your modules. And if you scroll down here, you will find Drupal Commerce, and essentially you want to turn every single Drupal Commerce module on. There's quite a few of them. Just scroll through, turn them all on. We'll talk a little more in detail about what they do. You can read a little bit about what they do here. Just get those all turned on. You also need to turn on Address Field, Inline Entity Form, and the Rules module. Rules and Rules UI. Make sure you catch the UI because it becomes helpful later on. So once you have all of those things on, what you'll notice is your admin menu at the top will get this Store tab. Now it's kind of nice because Drupal Commerce has put everything related to the store into the Store tab except the product display. So everything else will be in here, and you can see we'll have our customer profiles, which we'll look at a little later, the orders, active shopping carts, all of the different types of products that you can have, and just your normal configuration settings for Drupal Commerce. So, the first thing that we talked about in the last episode was that products are attached to a product display. So what we're going to do is actually create that product display now. So we're going to go to Structure, Content Types, and we are going to add a new content type here. And the content type we're going to add is just a product display. Now, you can name this anything you want, so if you want to come up with a different name for it, you can. Remember, this is not the product itself. This will just contain products. So if you are going to go with a different name, make sure you think about that when you're coming up with your naming conventions. So we'll just say content of this type will create a new product display. We're going to turn off the front page promotion. We don't need the authoring information, and we can hide the comments there. This also doesn't need to be in the menu. So we're going to save and add fields. Now here's the first part where we really have to think about what is related to what. So we are going to create a product display for our Drupal t-shirts. Now, that description of what that t-shirt is probably going to be exactly the same for both of the shirts that we have. So it's just going to be a Drupal t-shirt with a logo on it. We don't really need any other kind of descriptions that are independent of each other. So we're going to leave the title of the product display here, which will be Drupal t-shirt, and we're going to leave the body as the description on here. Now the thing that will change, that will not be here, because we could be tempted to do this, is to put the image on the product display. But that's not where we want it, because the image, if we come back here, remember, is completely different for each one of our t-shirts. We've got a black image and we've got a white image here, and we want to make sure that those are tied to the product and not necessarily to the product display. Now there is one other thing though that we do have to add to this page, and that is our product reference. So we can either call this product reference, you can call it product. What it's going to do is be the place where we actually attach all of our products to this particular product display. So from the field types list here, what we want to grab is a product reference. And here is where inline entity form is going to be really helpful, because we're going to grab it here instead of any of the other options. And you do want to make sure that you grab inline entity field multiple values. And we're going to save that. Go ahead and save through that. Now it's going to ask us what types of products do we want this product display to be able to contain. Just like you can have multiple content types, you can have multiple product types too. So if you have a product type that has all kinds of extra special fields that are specific just to a certain type of product, like maybe it has specific colors or it has size options that nothing else has, maybe it has a size of like 3/4 of an inch where everything else on the site has a size of small, medium, and large. You can create a separate product type for that, and that'll house those types of products. Drupal Commerce actually, when it turns on, has a default product type of just product, and that's the one we're going to be using for now. We'll look into some more customizable product types here in the future, but for now we're just going to use that, and we want to allow users to add existing products. So we'll be able to now create products on the fly when we create a product display, or we'll be able to attach existing products that are already in our catalog to this product display. And we do want this to have unlimited values because we're going to be uploading 2 products to our shirt node here that we're going to be creating. So that takes care of our product display. So let's go ahead and add that product display to our site. So we'll add a new product display, and here we will call this our Drupal t-shirt. And we are going to grab some lorem ipsum just to throw in there. And for now, we're going to ignore this because before we create a product within the product display, I want to show you where it's actually coming from. So here's our product display that's going to house our Drupal t-shirt. If we come up to Store, Products, Product Types, and then the product type, we could see under the Manage Fields here that here are the fields that we talked about last time that are required for any product to be able to be used and added to a cart. We've got our SKU, we've got our title, we've got the price, and we've got the status in here. To this, there's one other thing that we want to add because we need our image to house our white shirt image and our black shirt image, and it just doesn't come with that. So what we're going to do here real quick while we're in here is add our image field. Now we can either add a new one, or I do believe we have an existing image field. Let's use the existing image field just so that we don't store more information in the database than we need to store. So we'll just use that existing one, but you're more than welcome to create a new one if you'd like. I'm just trying to save on some database size here. So we'll close that down, and now all we need to do is go to Store, Products, Add a Product, and we're going to create just a product. So now we need a SKU. The SKU, it has to be completely unique, so no 2 products can share the same SKU. But other than that, there's really no hard, fast rules other than what it says here, that it's letters, numbers, hyphens, underscores, that kind of stuff. But this is really your convention. This is going to be something that you have to come up with within your own store to identify your products and separate them. For now, I'm just going to type in here Drupal t-shirt white. And we are going to title this white t-shirt. And we are going to give this shirt a price of $19.99. we want it to be active, and we need to upload our white shirt image, and we're going to save this product. So now we're going to see our list of products, and you can see that we have our SKU on the far left, we have our title, we have the type of product that we created, the price, and the fact that it's active. Now, when we close this down, it's going to refresh, but nothing is going to happen because all we've done is added a product to our catalog. We haven't actually put it on this node now. So we need to edit our product display, and from here we're going to add an existing product. And if we start typing in white t-shirt, that's going to come up, and we can click it and add the product, and you can see that it comes up with pretty much the same information we had on that overview page. And one of the cool things about inline entity form is that if you notice maybe you had this priced wrong, you can actually edit this product from the node here without having to go up into the store and modifying the settings that way. So inline entity form really does help us out there a little bit. And you can see here that we have our product, that it's got an image, we can see that it's $19.99, and we have an add to cart button. Now we do want to clean some of this stuff up, and we need to manage the displays. But this can be a little confusing because we have configuration settings within store, products, product type, manage display, and here we can scoot this up and hide it, hide the label there and say that we want it to be an image, and save this and close this down. And Drupal refreshed and nothing happened. And that is because there are multiple places that we have to modify this display. We need to come into structure, content types, our product display, and manage the fields here. And you can see that there's some settings that are in here and some settings that are on the other side, and you're just going to have to kind of play around with this and get a feel for where things are in order to know, is this item actually over in the product display, or is it over in the product? And it's very helpful to say, it says, to modify the settings for this image field, you need to go over to the manage display. So this is actually going to be able to allow us to move the image up and down. And then the other side, over in the product display, is where we're going to actually set the image cache and all that kind of stuff. So it's a little confusing, but I promise you will get used to it. So we want the image on top, we want the product price, then we want the product, which is the add to cart form. You can see here that there are some settings here, and what we want to do is we want to display this text field widget so that we can actually purchase multiples of these if we want to. And you'll see what that does here in a second. When we save that out, you can see that we now have our t-shirt, we have our price, and you can see that that checkbox that we checked gave us this quantity field where we can buy 10 shirts if we want to, as opposed to 1. Or we don't have to click the add to cart button 10 times, we can just type in 10. So now we need to add our black shirt to this product display. And we're going to do this the other way, the quick and painless way, by adding a new product straight from the product display. We are going to call this Drupal t-shirt black. We're going to say black t-shirt. And let's make the black t-shirt $29.99. We'll say it's a special item that it's a little more money. So we're going to upload our black t-shirt image and just create the product. Now, just like the other one, it's in the catalog now, and we'll check that out in a second, but it's a lot faster with this inline entity form to just add it right here while we're thinking about it, and as opposed to doing it in like 6 different places. So now you can see here that we have this little widget select list here where we can select between the white and the black t-shirt. Now if you select the black t-shirt, you're going to notice there's going to be an Ajax call, and the image is changed as well as the price. So now this is hopefully allowing you to see a little bit here how this works. Because when we go from the white to the black t-shirt, what changes is the price in the image. That's tied to the product. What doesn't change is the title of our page, the URL, or the description, because that's tied to the product display. And this is just kind of hopefully allowing you to see that you really have to think about how your products are organized to know what's tied to the product, what's tied to the product display. But this is exactly what we were wanting here. We have our image and our price tied to the product, and then we have the description and the title tied to our product display. We can flip back and forth between them, and the price will change. If we go into structure products, we can see that we have both our white and black t-shirt here. We can edit them if we wanted to change the price on them or any of that information. Because of the inline entity form, we can also make those changes directly on the product display page. And let's see what happens now when we add one of these guys to the cart. So we're going to add that to the cart, and we're just going to get a message that says that your t-shirt has been added to your cart. We will do some stuff here in the future, in the next couple episodes, where we use a really cool pop-up widget that's going to allow us to say, go to the cart or continue shopping. You've probably seen those on several other sites that you might buy things from. But for now, this is the default functionality, so we're going to go straight to our cart. And we can see here that we have a black t-shirt in here for $29.99, and we've only purchased one of them. The total here is $29.99. That seems to be perfect. That seems exactly like what we want. And if we come back here and say, well, let's add 2 of these white ones to the cart, and then go to our cart, we now have 2 white t-shirts totaling $39.98. And we have 1 black t-shirt at $29.99, totaling $29.99, and that gives us a grand total of $69.97. So now, if we decided we wanted to actually have 2 black t-shirts, instead of having to go back, we just put 2 in there, we click Update Cart, and bam, our order total is now $99.96. From here, we can check out. It's going to ask us for our billing information, and we will just enter in something here. Let's just say I'm John Doe, and my address is 555 The Street, and I live in, we'll just say Canton, Ohio, 44708. Now, we will also need shipping information in the future, because if you're buying t-shirts or a product that needs shipped, you're going to need to collect that shipping information. Also, you may not want to accept all of these countries that come preloaded, but we'll look at that when we start looking at shipping information and the billing information a little more in detail. I just want to show you the checkout process here. So if we continue to the next step, we're going to get an order review, and on this order review is going to be our payment method. And we're going to look at other payment methods as well. Right now we're using the example payment. This is a fake credit card that will accept as if you were actually making a payment on your website, but we'll look at PayPal and we'll look at things like authorize.net here in the future. And if you continue to the next step, that's it. It's going to tell us our order number is 1, and we can view our order, and we're just going to return to the front page here, and that's it. Under Store, under our Orders tabs, we're going to see that we have an order number 1 here. It's pending, and that is an issue with rules in the example payment module. If we come in here, we can simulate what this would have done. It would have marked itself as completed. But we can see here that it was for John Doe. He lives on 555 The Street. He's from the U.S. We can see all this stuff here. Now, what you aren't seeing happening is that John just received an email with his order number and his order confirmation. And I have also received an email letting me know that I have an order on the site. And that is automatically happening because of the rules module and the way that Drupal Commerce uses the rules module. It's just built-in functionality. It's going to send an email to the person placing the order, and it's going to send an email to the person who holds control of the site. Now, if you are not logged into the site, what it's going to do is it's going to create an account for you. So you're going to be asked for your email address. So in addition to the order confirmation email that gets sent out to the customer, they're also going to get another email with their one-time login in order to be able to set up their account on your website. Now we're going to look at what all you can do with that here in the future. As of right now, though, if we come up here to content and we go to our Drupal t-shirt and we view this in an incognito window where we're not logged in, you're going to see that we can add this product to our cart, but when we go to our cart, we can't check out. And that is just a permission issue. And we are going to take a look at the Drupal Commerce permissions in a future episode as well, because they're quite robust and there's quite a few of them there. So for this episode, we accomplished what we wanted to accomplish. We have our product display. We have two products on that product display, both with a unique price and with a unique image that changes as we change, so the customer knows what they're buying, they know how much they're getting. We can add this stuff to our cart, and we can actually follow through with the checkout process. So other than setting some permissions and getting an actual payment processor on our website, we have everything we need up and running to actually sell products on our website. That's it. There's really nothing more complicated than that. If you want to have a very basic store where you sell physical products, that's it. The only thing we might have to add to that is the shipping information so that you can actually earn a little extra cash for shipping. But other than that, this is the bare minimum basics of what you need to get an online store up and running. So in the future here, we're going to look at the permissions. We're going to check out the payment processors. We're going to look into some really cool pop-up modules for adding things to the cart. We're going to get shipping up and running. We're going to look at tax. So while this is enough to get like a mock store up and running other than the payment processor, there is a lot more that we're going to be looking into. So this is just the start of it. If you have any questions about Drupal Commerce, please feel free to email me at onestophowtoguys@gmail.com. If you run into any issues with getting this store set up, if something just doesn't seem working like it's working right, you can't figure it out, do that, or make sure you head over to onestophowtoguys.com, create an account, and post your question in the forum. The forum is actually going to be the best place for you to post those questions because I'm going to see them and the rest of the community is going to be able to see them, which means that you might get your question answered a lot sooner. So head on over there if you haven't already. Create an account. It's totally free. Everything on the site is free for now. I might be writing some books on some of this stuff that will be paid, but the content itself is always free. The forum's free. Head on over there, create your account. But that's going to do it for this episode. So if you like this video, give it a like, subscribe to the channel, head over to One Stop How To Guys to create an account. Follow me on all the social media networks, whatever you want to do. But I'll see you in the next episode. Later, guys.